Welcome to Future Forward, the podcast where we decode the technologies poised to change our lives. Yeah, I'm your host, and today we're talking about something familiar, yet on the verge of a radical transformation, the humble blood test. We've all been there. The slight pinch of a needle, a vial of blood drawn, and then a few days later, a report with a list of numbers for things like cholesterol, iron, white blood cells.
Right.
For decades, that's just been the standard. But what if that same vial of blood could do more? What if, when analyzed by a powerful artificial intelligence, it could tell you that you're in the earliest stages of a disease, like cancer, long before you ever felt a single symptom? This isn't some far-off dream. It's a clinical reality that's unfolding right now. Let's start with one of the biggest challenges in modern medicine, early cancer detection. You see, researchers at the Johns Hopkins Kimmel Cancer Center have developed a blood test for lung cancer, which is the deadliest cancer worldwide. Wow. Their approach is fascinating. It's all based on how our DNA is organized. Okay, think of the DNA in a healthy cell as a perfectly neatly rolled ball of yarn. In a cancer cell, that same yarn is a tangled, chaotic mess. When cells in our body die, which is a totally natural process, they release fragments of their DNA into our bloodstream. So the AI developed by the Johns Hopkins team is designed to act like a detective. It sifts through the blood, looking specifically for the telltale signs of those tangled, chaotic fragments shed by cancer cells. And get this, the AI doesn't just look for one clue. It recognizes a whole pattern of chaos, what scientists are calling the fragmentome. And the results from their study of nearly 1,000 people are just breathtaking. So the test has a 99.8% negative predictive value. Let me translate that. Basically, if your test comes back negative, there is a 99.8% probability that you do not have lung cancer. This is incredibly powerful. Right. It means we could confidently tell a huge number of at-risk people that they don't need to undergo a more invasive and expensive CT scan, freeing up resources for those who truly need them. And this AI-driven approach isn't just limited to one method or one disease. Now, at the University of Edinburgh, another team is taking a different route for breast cancer. They use a technique called Raman spectroscopy, which involves shining a laser on a blood plasma sample. The way the light scatters off the blood creates this complex, detailed signature. Now, to the naked eye, it's just noise, but to a machine learning algorithm, it's a treasure trove of information. The AI can detect these subtle shifts in chemicals that are the earliest whispers of disease. Using this, the team was able to identify stage 1A breast cancer. That's the absolute earliest possible stage with 98% accuracy. I mean, this is a stage that our current tests often miss entirely. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. I mean, whenever the words revolutionary and blood test are in the same sentence, the ghost of Theranos tends to haunt the conversation. The spectacular failure of that company left a long shadow of skepticism. Yeah, but it's crucial to understand why this is fundamentally different. Theranos, its claim was that a magical secret box could run hundreds of existing lab tests from a single drop of blood. But the problem was the box just didn't work. The technology we're discussing today, it isn't about some mythical machine. It uses standard, approved lab equipment and normal blood draws. You see, the magic isn't in the hardware. It's in the software. It's the power of AI to analyze millions of data points and find complex, hidden patterns that no human could ever hope to see. Really, the breakthrough is in data science, not some black box. The potential here is, well, it's hard to overstate. In the U.S. alone, 15 million people are considered high risk and are recommended for annual lung cancer screening. And yet, only about 6 to 10% actually go through with it. People are put off by the time, the cost, or even the low-dose radiation from CT scans. A simple, inexpensive blood test performed at their local clinic could change everything. In fact, the research team's models predict their tests could help quadruple the number of lung cancers detected early and prevent an estimated 14,000 deaths over just 5 years. So, where does this stand with regulators like the FDA? Well, the path is being cleared as we speak. While many of these new tests are currently offered as laboratory-developed tests, which just means they're used in a single lab, they are moving toward full approval. And we just saw a monumental step forward. In July 2024, the FDA granted full approval to Guardant Health's SHIELD test, an AI-powered liquid biopsy for colorectal cancer screening. Wow! This was a landmark decision. It proves that this new generation of diagnostic technology can meet the highest regulatory standards for safety and effectiveness, and it opens the floodgates for others to follow. We are witnessing a paradigm shift in medicine. We're moving from a reactive model, where we wait for symptoms to appear and then treat the disease, to a proactive one, an era where a simple blood test can become a kind of crystal ball, giving us a glimpse into our future health and empowering us to take action before a disease ever takes hold. So, the annual physical of tomorrow won't just be a snapshot of your health today. It will be a forecast for your health for years to come. And that brings us to a final thought for you to consider. If a simple, highly accurate blood test could tell you your statistical risk, say a 70% probability of developing a serious illness in the next 5 years, would you want to know? And how would that knowledge truly change the way you live your life?